Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. I'm finally, 2 years later, getting to review a movie that I've wanted to watch for a while, 2018's The House That Jack Built. Now, a lot of you probably haven't seen it, and that's okay. And you may be familiar, you may not be familiar with the director's work. It's Lars von Trier, and I've talked about him on here a couple of times. It stars Matt Dillon. It has a small role with Uma Thurman in it, from Kill Bill. There's a few other actors I could talk about, but what it's about is this. Jack is a serial killer and he's talking to some sort of existential thing at the end of his life, and he's recounting all the kills and whatnot that's happened to him, or at least most of them, to build where he's at through several acts to get to the end of the movie, to where he goes to the underworld. Jack is played by Matt Dillon, who does an okay job, and it's a Lars von Trier film. Now, if you don't know who that is, if you've ever seen Antichrist, Melancholia, those types of film, Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2, he is a artist. Okay, he's an artist. He makes art. Now, the issue is he an entertainer? No, he's an artist. And here's the difference. An entertainer wants to entertain you. An artist wants to make art. I'm an entertainer. He's an artist. He didn't care if he pisses you off. Like, all right, I don't know if I do either. But I do want you to be entertained. Lars von Trier, not so much. His movies are an experience, and it's often not a pleasant one. And people always go, why would you watch that shit if it isn't pleasant? Well, because it's art. It's eye-opening, and it can be entertaining in a sense. He's never made a movie that I didn't appreciate. The House That Jack Built is not one of my favorite ones I've seen. Now, there is a scene in it with a baby duck, and I looked it up. It's fake. It was faked, because even if it was real, I wouldn't. I only have like a couple of morals, and one of them is I wouldn't review it. It's a lot to take in. Some of the scenes are kind of violent, and the violence builds. And basically, what the movie is about isn't necessarily, I don't think it's about Jack the serial killer. I think it's about Lars looking back at the career and the shit that he's got away with. I think it's fairly simple and very right there on the top. I got to do this and this and this. He did the original Kingdom Hospital in Europe, and it literally has a full-grown man coming out of a woman's vagina being birthed. In fact, the shot is used in The House that Jack Built. I enjoyed it. I can recommend it if you have a certain kind of personality. If you've ever seen any of those other films and can appreciate those as art, then yes, The House that Jack Built. It's on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, it's free with it. Well, you're paying your subscription, you can watch it. For some of you, it's going to be 2.5 hours and go, what the hell was that? And there's some funny scenes. There's some funny scenes because, see, Jack gets away with a lot. Jack gets away with a lot. Says, I think there's even more to say about our society of as much Jack is getting away with. If you've seen American Psycho and you wonder, how did he get away with? Well, yeah. Some people just get away with shit, don't they? House That Jack Built on Hulu, Lars von Trier. Check it out. It's about 2.5 hours long. It's got a lot of, it's art. Put that into your head. It's art. He's not there to entertain you. He's there to show you something interesting. And whether you like Lars von Trier or not, his movies are always interesting. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you so much.